Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce Mr. Zakaria Rachid. Please remember, if you have any question, raise your hand and wait for hostess with mic. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, sure. Okay. By the way, you can speak even if through the talk. This is an interactive talk. I think this is the last talk. We had some very elite subjects. I heard RCE. I talked about ACLR. We even talked about religion and found some peace plan for the Middle East. But this one will be cool, chill, and interactive. So try to answer or ask questions. I'll try to repeat them, of course, for the camera. So, game of kiosks. I'll start by saying who I am. Well, apparently, it was supposed to show things like in directly. I'm a security consultant. I work for a security company in France. I'm also a hacker, like in the RFC 1392. That means I love systems and computers and try to get knowledge. I'm also part of OWASP ZAP, and I try to propage love and everywhere. That's weird. That was not supposed to go like that. So, I'm going to start with what is this talk not about. As I said, this talk is not about extreme hacking. I'm not going to show any 0 days, but we can talk afterward, especially if you work for 0 days. I'm not going to show much exploitation because I don't want to go to jail. This is not about cybersecurity, even if I will make heavy use of big data, buzzwords, and other stupid stuff, And new attacking techniques. I'm going to use some already existing attacking techniques, but maybe sometimes with exotic theme and try to make something new with old stuff. So you see, I try to say like nothing really elite, right? So what is this about? This is about kiosk, what we call urban mobilier, everything that is connected, ticket dispensers. I saw a couple of ATM with touchable screen in here around the city. It's about accessing actually really any computer I found and trying to get access to it. So basically everything with a screen, right? So our Westeros, I think everybody know Game of Thrones, so I can go with the stupid memes. Okay, so my Westeros, my 7 kingdoms is this. You see, you have this is a machine from a ticket dispenser in France, and this is where you see what this is about really, and what are these things. They are computers. It's a computer plugged with a printer, with a screen and everything, and hidden in a box, and we call it a kiosk. This is too a computer, I think we all agree, right? I think there are people who doesn't believe it's a computer, but it's a small computer. These are my favorite. They have the keyboard and everything. So once you point it, you can wreak havoc. So and you have them everywhere when you go shopping, when you go to take the plane, when you're in the mall, etc., etc. And we're gonna try to see if we can do stuff. So why for the challenge? Because I'm a hacker, like many of you. I like to challenge myself to try to get the thing. Curiosity, again, another level that we can put on people, on hackers and us, because it's not something standard, and I like exotic stuff and bad airport connection. I spent many time in airport. I spent already many time in airport to travel, etc. I have a daughter. I'm going to tell you a bit so we get to know each other. I have a daughter who lives abroad, so she needs to take the airport, and it's boring as hell. You can do anything in the airport. So you're going to see we need to create stuff, to play. And because like our Martin, my biggest dream is to run lives of computers, of electrons, right? Not the developers. I'm going to talk about that later. So, there are rules to do that. Okay, so first rule, hands no tool, or less possible tool and nothing really technical. I think you all, if you're interested with this subject and kiosk in general, you know that there's a researcher who did some software that you can download, iCat, I think it was called, or something like that, and it did so much stuff, trying to elevate privileges, etc., etc. We won't do anything like this, even if I will use a very technical tool that I will show you later. Leave everything as found. Again, I said I'm a hacker, but I'm a hacker in the normal way, you know, the guy who tried to make stuff work or break things to make them work. My aim is not to break stuff and to be an evil guy. Or so I want you to believe. Okay, each time the aim is that escape the loser jail. The loser is the user. Sorry, I'm bad-mouthed. The user is always enclosed in this jail of controls, physical controls, virtual controls, and we're gonna try to escape this jail, get a shell, and then go pwnage. And this is from my favorite book. Actually, I changed it a bit. I am tempted to say that this is no game we play, daughter, but of course, this is the game of Kiosks. Festival of Villains, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make bad jokes all the way, so you better start liking them. Oh, and Borja hack proves this. This is my partner. We did like the first iteration of this talk 2 years ago, and he agreed to that, and we still play the game. You know, we try to pawn kiosks. He tried to hack kiosks and ATMs when he's in France. I hack stuff in Spain, and it goes on. So, how we will do that? We will do that because of inputs. Someone earlier on this stage talked about excesses and how to prevent them. They come always from inputs. Well, inputs here is classic with keyboard and mouse. Now we're gonna see if we can use touchscreen and cameras, our voice, our body. Techniques, well, race condition. We're gonna try to crash some stuff. Touchy, that's a very technique, elite stuff, you know. I cannot explain it right now. You need to see it but yourself. URIs, XSS and SQLA. XSS is gonna be the most extreme technical thing in here, okay? So, I think so. No rope, no SLR, nothing, okay? And Murphy law. You all know Murphy law? Yeah. Run results. Okay, a little disclaimer so I don't go to jail. You know, I can say I'm a responsible guy. Things are not always as they seemed. Much that may seem evil can be good. It's from Game of Thrones too. Yeah, I'm a geek. Okay, so history. You know this screen? Yeah, what's on the screen? Backtrack 5. So back in the days, this was like one of the easiest way to pawn the first kiosks. You know how we did it? I remember it's a game. You can guess. You will get freebies at the end of the talk. Well, now I think you get a better view. And yes, it's the USB. You can plug your dongle, you reboot on it, and there you go. You have access to your own OS on the kiosk, and you can have fun at the airport. Or not. Okay, this is another one. This is an elite. Oh, there's too much light. No, it's not a Game of Thrones joke. This is an elite kiosk from the future. So you see it's a screen with a small computer behind it. You can access the small computer, so there is no physical limitation. It's very technological, it's very technical, and to hack it you have an easy way. You take a USB dongle again, you put it, and when the cinema is closed, you come with your keyboard 15 meters away, and you reboot it, download your malware, and wreak havoc, right? So these are the easy way. Okay, let's move to something more technique. What is this? An XSS, a reflected XSS. It's a French website, I think. Yeah, it's paris.fr. So it's a reflected client-side XSS. Okay, big cool story, bro. What could show that to a security officer, and he'll laugh at you. You know, usually it's the vulnerabilities up in the green side. You know, they won't take it. They don't care about the risk. So, and I showed them and they laughed at me. You know, what could you do with that? Well, I was traveling to Tunisia, and I was looking for a book to learn about Tunisia. Bardo, you know, they have a good museum there. Terrible things happened there. So I tried to know more about Bardo, and I was on a computer on the library. This computer had a keyboard, a mouse. The browser was full screen, some kind of homemade Firefox, I guess, and I couldn't do anything. I could only go on this website, paris.fr, and I knew I had this XSS on it. So next thing I know, because when I type, I think I typed too much HTML when I was young. So I typed input type file class upload, and somehow I clicked browse. Parcourir means browse. You're going to see we're going to learn many words in many languages. So then I got access to the OS under the web application that was in full screen. So I started trying some stuff: Windir, AppData, Fnord, TMP. Damn, that sysadministrator, he did such a good work, So I tried it on another computer, because I know sysadministrator, I was one. So I found this thing, Start ThenWorks. Do you know what it is? Because I did not at the time. I did not, so I started doing some showdown, and with the knowledge that you have, I stumbled upon this page that gave me access to maybe some administration page, and maybe by brute forcing it easily, I could have access, okay, register that, to some cool stuff. Access that I didn't get, because I'm a good guy, remember? So here you go. I learned what novel ThenWorks are and what our trivial passwords are. Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Sheldon. So let's go back to our CISO. He'll say, okay, only the bibliothèque libraries are impacted. And again, I proved him wrong. I was in the airport waiting for my plane, France, airports, strikes. It never came, but I was looking at the website. They have a blacklist and a whitelist, and every website I could access from the computer at the airport was blocked. The only website I could access from this interface is paris.fr, and from there, well, I could browse again and reuse. So I used this vulnerability on this website to pivot on another website, then on this kiosk. And what do you know? Sysadministrator, master browser, so you can see all the computers on the network. Active Directory, it's better like it can, fresh. Don't install anymore, don't configure it. And I started messing with it. Okay, another one. Can you guess what I will use to get access to this kiosk? This kiosk was Forum des Images. It's a nice place in Paris. And I was with my daughter, teaching her how to use XSS, how to make XSS happen. She was, I think, 6 years old. Best age, they learned better, So we were having this course about very egocentric, very Lannister course about XSS. And by the way, I never lines like in Lannisters. That's my family. Okay, so what did I use? Paris.fr. Okay, I could have used Paris.fr, but it was blacklisted, alas. And this XSS was like too obvious. So what I used is really easy. It's a Firefox browser. So I used URI. Only you go C2 point, and there you access to the file system of the Windows, and from there you got so much cool things, etc., etc. Okay, this is where you see that I'm a freaking liar, because here you see that I've clicked on users. I went deeper than what I show you. Okay, if you saw that what I did 2 years ago, you'd know that some of these things I talked about them 2 years ago. So they should be patched, right? I talked to them so much times, and these stuff are patched now. Especially the Paris.fr got a new website. They have a new website. It's not the same ones. So, and this is URI. We're in 2K16. That won't work. Well, you know nothing, Jon Snow. I was at the airport yesterday morning, right? And they have these nice kiosks. Look how they're greedy. You pay €2 for 2 minutes of internet. What is this, Spain in the 30s? So I could get internet, print in, phone, I can work. Like, come on, guys, thank you, I'm going to Poland, I'm going to work. And games, games, solitary, not Far Cry, right? So So next thing, I start looking for XSS because they're useless. So I find a little XSS confidence to K16, yay! No, that's me. I was like, haha. And with the same payload I showed earlier. So same thing. You access to the computer, master browser. It's like there's a song, Master Browser, about that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm too late right now, you know. This is like an OSCP, you know. In OSCP, when you can't find it, they teach you like to step before and look at the broadside. So the broadside was I just needed to type C2 point, because what I didn't tell you, what you don't see is when I access the the hard drives, I get nothing because sysadministrator did their job like they should. So I come here with the Cygwin, nice. So I come here and I hit C2 point. I start running. I find files. You know, this is utilities. So all the sources of the kiosk software. Squid. So I can look and maybe change afterward the configuration of the proxy and access every state I want. I also found Cygwin. Let's have fun. You know, when Windows is not enough, Cygwin. And then I downloaded cmd.exe and I launched it. And you know, with admin power and stuff, so that was fun. I started like doing whatever ipconfig, netstat, then start pinging some things. I don't know why, you know. They made me do it. Then I did something really elite, spawned MS Paint with admin system and wrote have confidence, you know. That's cool, right? That's all things I know to do. Spawn Paint and spawn calc from with my shellcode. So I'm really not an elite guy, right? But sometimes I try to teach myself, you know, to culture myself. So I go to museums. This is you know Louvre in Paris? This is the Louvre du Pauvre, Louvre of poor people. This is in Lens, in north of Paris, you know, where they're having drinking problems like InfoSec people. So I went there and they gave us this superb, elite, extreme visit cyber IoT thing with this bearded hipster guy who teach you stuff. So I started playing with it, looking at the stuff, application that the information that I can extract. I love info, right? So I started learning stuff, but I was stuck. And what do you do when you're stuck? You use some elite and cool equipment to level up, right? I think Martin talked about those elite people, Anonymous and such, who use Metasploit, Armitage, Autopwn.exe and Anakurnikova.vbs to hack people. Yeah, make them think it's a tool, please. So I made a tool of mine. Can you guess what it is? It's lace. My Ranger's lace, you know, because Rangers have these extremity, you know, so you can poke them into stuff. And I poked it in the side of the box because, see, I talked about control. This is a physical control of the device containing the application. So by poking, when you poke, always something funny comes out, right? Sorry, we're gonna cut it. So after poking, I had device want to reboot, and I respect people's choices. I'm pro-choice. They want to reboot, let's reboot. So it reboots, so it's a Galaxy S2. At the time, I was like, wow, I only have the Galaxy S1. There's a Galaxy S2, come on. This is my taxes. Yeah, we pay taxes in France, you know. So I rebooted it, I put it, so there's a race condition because there's an application trying to pop up first. There's no SIM card, so can't call my mother, you know, so useless. There's only Wi-Fi in the network of the museum, and that can poke every other VLAN. Useless, right? So So I went into audit mode. I don't know what is this for, but maybe I can flash it with some malware or some custom application and have fun and make prank on people or some more interested plan of evil. But I'm not evil and I'm kind, so I just reboot it and left it like it was. But, you know, let your imagination flow, exploitation scenarios, or pay me a drink later and we talk about it. So, after the IoT, we'll go green. Green, big data, connected cities. In Paris, and thank God, by the way, we try to care about the environment. We try to. And this is really cool. This is called Autolibre. If you notice, there is a cable, because it's a car with electric car that is free to use. You pay something like €5, so it's cool. You know, and you use it, then you bring it back. You can see the flag of Brittany. They are the master of the words, but it's a French joke. And you can use it, you know, with a card. You go, you flash your card, and you get the car, and you can use it. And when you start, you need to register online. Then they ask you to come and to register with someone in Romania, I think, or in Morocco, I guess. And you scan your passport, your driving license. I don't have it, so I don't even know the word. He take a picture, etc., etc., and there you got an assurance, and you can drive your car. So, do you know how I hacked this actually the first time? Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Sorry? Yeah, but that's too elite, you know. I'm such a noob. Almost. I scanned my face. I scammed my face, actually. I like Kevin Mitnick. I like social engineering, social experiments, lying to people, troll them. So I tried to do like Aria. I tried to, you know, Valar Morghulis and stuff. So I poked the computer, I put scotch on the scanner, I told the guy, oh, we can all scan my paper, and start talking with my, I didn't tell you, but I'm Moroccan, so I'm a mastermind of the African accent, so I start speaking with the African accent, so telling him, oh, I don't understand nothing on computer engineering, you are so smart. You know what my cousin do when he got a problem with the computer? He just reboot it. So I planted this seed in his mind, we started talking. Then I bring back, you know, I ashamed myself, I passed for the newbie that I am, and I planted again and again this idea into his mind. Reboot the computer. Have faith. Reboot. And next thing you know, the guy say, okay, I'm going to reboot the station. And I swear to God, I didn't know it. The station, every car connected went, pshoo, you know, like in the movie Star Trek when they lose power, it went like that. So he rebooted the main system. That's so sexy. Next thing you know, these things pop up. Oh shit, I didn't. Okay, don't look at the brands of the companies that don't know it. But you have this GUI that's popped up. You have these admin scripts that start launching. Pro tip, always launch your tasks, schedule task, stuff in general in root or in administrator. It's always better for the hacker. So everything launch, and this is another one, and I started pawning it thanks to this guy. So this was the Kevin Mitnick style, right? So I read it for the fun, because some people like say, no, you just found one stupid one. I say, no, I just found one human one, you know. Like, and human is vulnerable too. So from there, I can access the computer, but I can browse, etc. But you can see I have no bar, because behold, the super protection. They used. Do you know this funny setting on Windows where you can set your bar, the dock on the end to skip? So every time I try to diminish my window, it appears for 1 microsecond, then it skips. And I was like, gosh, that's so elite. So what I did is I took some help. Yeah, basically that was my girlfriend. You know nothing, Zach. You couldn't hack it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Wait a minute. We had the kind of a game because we were like first I was like, let me do it, woman. I can do it without you. You know, I was all smartest trying to do it, but it was too fast for me. So I humbled myself and I said, sorry, honey, can you help me, please? I need to do this for confidence. So she said yes and helped me. And then we started like trying to, you know, to catch it. So, and I have big fingers, so I can't, you know, I can get it. So we tried again and again. Okay, yeah, see, we tried. No, let me do it. I want to do it too. And come on, do it. Oh, no, left. And yes, at last, we get the menu. And from there, once you get the menu, what will you do? Well, with the menu, I can spawn shell, spawn calcs, MS Paint, or other application, because there are test applications that are on this device, you know, to benchmark, etc., to reboot stuff. So I could steal calls and call someone and sell them, you know, Lannister style, and get all the gold of Westeros. Or I can install malware. I can put my own keylogger and start sniffing stuff. You know, exploitation. Which brings me to this part of the talk. We were very not hydrated. We drank much vodka. I never make the difference, but the one that, you know, made the one that is like you shouldn't drink a bottle alone, because after that you try to hack the lift at the Black Hat convention. So we were trying to access the lift, and after we speed run, I did a speed presentation of this, and we went to the left, and this is what you got. And here, with my Irish friend's big finger, you see exit mode, okay, reports, options, show desktop, exit program. I don't know for you, but I don't want them to exit program when I'm in the lift. Exit lift. All right. That's bad. That's bad. And that's the terrible thing, because I'm trying to keep it like funny, so we have a good laugh, we distress. It's the end of the week, end of the conference. But those are critical infrastructure, you know, cars, museums. You can imagine risk models. And I heard a phone ringing that was Frank Underwood from House of Cards. Shall I spoil you the end of the last season? You know, powerful people or mean people who spoil stuff. We can imagine scenarios where someone, a crazy killer or a crazy guy, try to control the crowd. We all know the Columbine story, you know, how they try to control the crowd. Someone who can shut off every ticket selling machine in a train station and have only 2 or 3 or a row of ticket machine working. He can control the flux of people. So it's really weird how it starts, you know, acting in our life. Okay, did I just say that stupid stuff is? What is that? Oh, okay. Thank God you don't listen to the. This is in a museum. I was trying to. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Shit. How can I? Oh, fuck. So, hidden menus, right? I show you the hidden menu of the lift. This is the hidden menus in the Word. Behold, the keyboard. Keyboard is my best friend, because once you pop a keyboard, you can pop your calc, and God knows I like to pop calcs on MS Paints. So this is a ticket dispenser, and as you can see here, I don't want you to say, oh no, whoa, it's closed. Everything closes early in France. That drives me insane. You know, bar stays open. That's cool at least. Well, everything closes, even museums. So when you go to the museum at 7 p.m., you need to hack the ticket dispenser to get your ticket. How crazy is that? So, see, my life is hard. I need to hack everything to get stuff working. Lifts, ticket dispensers. So, just by poking around, you know, you can get the keyboard. I've struggled because the keyboard was here, and this space is protected. Again, this is a physical control, but not enough, because I think they didn't calculate that the screen was too big and that Windows detected the whole area, not only the point of the cursor. So I could pop the keyboard. Oh, there's a weird thing. It's written titre de la fenêtre, which translates in title of the window. So the guy who made an application with money related, right, to take money, our money, give us tickets to get access to a museum, a big museum, huge museum, you know, an institution, didn't even bother to put a title to the window. Shall we speak about security? They didn't even put a title to the application, and this is the logo of the compiler or something. I don't even want this 2 years ago. I don't even want to compile it, to search it. So I started poking the system, because we're bashing developers. Developers do that, developers do that. But look at people who integrate your software, you know? Okay, first things first, the date is wrong. So, date is wrong, no updates. Right? No updates of Windows, no updates of antivirus, no, okay. And VNC, 1, 2, 3. It's a song, I think. So I get in the museum, because it's funny, like, to hack stuff in front of the museum, but you want to go inside the museum, right? To learn things, history, or video games. Does something disturb you guys? And girls, by the way. Do you know Left 4 Dead, the video game? Something is Left 4 Dead here. Okay, let me zoom. Something is really weird. Do you see it? Come on, I want to hear it. What is disturbing you, sir?
Computer hidden under the desk.
Yeah, computer. I mean, seriously, guys, pick and choose. Winter is freaking coming from north, west, east. Computer. This is the box where the computer should be. Even if the computer was in the box, there is no lock in the box. This is the security post, right? And Windows XP. Yeah, no comment, right? So I went inside the museum. There was a video game. I played my other video game, you know. So same thing. You can see it's a Windows 8. It's funny, blah blah blah. You get the OM, etc., etc. And this was a couple of weekends ago. They had this magnificent computer, you know, old computer. I think youngster. Do you know what is this? It's a screen, you know. People. You need to touch the big keyboard, you know, and hard. So I started playing with Aliza, started trying to know her, and yeah, she didn't get my humor though. So I started telling her stuff. She didn't like the fact that I called her Robert Table. She didn't get the SQL jokes, anything. No RCE. So I'm too late. Started, you know, touching 5-time shifts. And what happened when you hit 5-time shifts? Sticky keys! That's almost obscene. Sticky keys, what are we talking about? Is this incest? Damn Lannisters. So sticky keys, I get this, but no fun, because I couldn't, you know, they were hooked on the, this process was hooked, I think, on something really high level. Again, I'm a noob, I don't get what it is. So I couldn't spawn a browser, a new folder, or anything. I mean, a file browser or anything. So what I did is click here, you know, on the help menu. And from there, I could spawn my file browser. And from there, I can get my command. Oh, you don't see it. I can get my command CMD. So cool story, Zach. We saw it. We know you're a liar. You're a social engineer. You lie to people. There is no network, though. So I could recode Aliza and add some kinky jokes on her about how she liked to. Oh no, some kinky jokes. But that's all I can do, right? So, but this won't happen in a production environment. Let's say in in Paris. Oh, that goes too fast. Sorry. In Paris, where in a ticket vending machine, where you use the same logic, you know, going through the help menu and accessing some menu to launch the printer, or trying to pivot on the OS. Well, alas, we can. Okay, that's not going like I wanted to. Demo gods. So again, talking about hidden keyboard on the edges of life. I talked to you about airports. I didn't lie, at least not about that. So this is American Express or MasterCard or something like that. Yay, capitalism! And what's written is everything you buy draws your next trip. I said challenge accepted. Let's draw something. So I launched MS Paint. Administrator, of course. It's always better when you launch stuff with administrator level. Started looking at stuff, writing some oh hi. And this was at mail.ru in Russia. We kind of crashed the party, sorry. I think those OWASP guys, they're really evil. So, let's move to something else. We're done with keyboards, right? And Windows 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever. Let's go to the basics, to the old good things. This is a mall in Paris region, and these thingies help you to buy stuff. So you can take one, you put your card, you have your ID, they have everything when you walk in the mall. They're tracking your GPS location, what you're buying, who you are supporting, what's your diet, so they can sell you better things, of course, and they can fire people and say it's a crisis. But that's another topic. That's too much politics. Let's look at what they have. What they have is good stuff with stickers. And if you want to look it up, guys, shoot your wizards. This is not an RFC 1980 compliant IP. In fact, this, for the old people like me, you remember when we read ISINs back in the days and stuff about don't scan this IP range. This is the FBI. This is DOD. You know, what, a demon? No, Department of Defense, USA. Well, this is Fort Aurora, something in Arizona, where you know the OVNI crash and UFO and stuff. So that's put you on the track. Next thing, I start working and I see that some of this stuff just crashes like that. And I say, okay, let's have fun. Let's provoke an update. I first one, I found this menu, and I said, abort and retry. I said, okay, retry. It didn't work. I helped it. I said, abort. And then I booted in the app launcher menu. Start looking up. There's a Pocket browser, so I can go on Facebook, device info, MC17. And by the way, I knew nothing about these things when I met them. You know, I was completely new with them. So I started poking. Always poke. It's cool. I started poking, finding MAC address, AP IDs, OS versions, search connected networks. So I got some SSID. IPs, MAC address. What could you do with an SSID and a MAC address? Again, too much radio, right? That's too late. And again, IP of Fort wherever in US. So either they're really smart and they're attributing these IPs. So if you go home and you try to launch an attack because you think it's a public IP, you're gonna hack the DoD and FBI comes to your house, or they just like doesn't care about RFCs. And do you see it? There's unlock. I'm like, what? No way. Unlock like in, so next thing, what do? I unlock. I want the freedom of people, so I go into the thing. Oop. Crush it really quick. See, this is human fuzzing, really elite. And ba-ba-bam. There you go. Then I put it again because I'm a nice Christian guy. So what could you do with that? Again, you can flash it. You can go. I went home, did my homework. See, I'm a steady guy. Went home, did my homework, and I found it got Windows CE. It's called Alcatel stuff. I can buy a dock and flash it. I can put some malware in it to know where are people and play with GPS and be a great anarchist and say fuck the system and stuff like in Mr. Robot. Or I'm more like this guy. I found that the price is 800 on one side and 900 from one side. You all know Littlefinger, master of coin. So 900, I think that's enough, right, to motivate you. Imagine I get 40 of them. 40 for 900. Good vacation in Poland, right? Then Murphy. Stuff happened, to be polite, because I never swear. So stuff happened. You walk in the subway in Paris and you found taskng.exe, which is the Windows cron tab, right? Crashed with administrator privilege. I told you we're gonna learn how to say administration in many languages. So, I mean, you don't even have to hack. The hack asks you to do it, you know? I'm like, seriously. Thank God we have a good legislation in France. We're trying to do, with the help of groups of smart people like I Am the Cavalry and other people in the government who are not at all technical. And this is what's cool. And again, what Martin said in the beginning, I like to troll them and talk about how they are only cyber people, how they're not people in their real life. But you know, we can look for it. But imagine if I did this in the old legislation, I could go to jail. But now at least I can say, Mr. Judge, he made me do it. You know, he was showing everything, I couldn't resist. By the way, this is not a rape thing, I condemn rape. You laugh to that? I really condemn rape, come on, dude. Hipsters. So this is again stuff that crashed. Some Russian friends told me I should say this crashed alone. So when I was visiting Kremlin, I didn't try to overload the kiosk to make it crash. You know, because sometimes it's running Windows. So when it's loading, you start to hitting it. So when it reload, it's stuck, and you click, and you're in the OS context. So yeah. This happened alone, and this must say something in Russian. Don't know, like updates are missing, maybe, but they didn't. Okay, so they're available, but didn't install them. Thank you, FSB. So let's move. Okay, it's funny how no one ever laughed at this joke. So. There you go. This is an ATM in Spain using the same technique. You can spawn. I think it's in Germany. It's not Spain. You can spawn a keyboard. Then you have CMD. Then you can have fun. So the same technique. Go on and on. Again, laziness of integrator. They didn't even remove the screensaver. They could at least like put their logo and leave it there. There you got Windows XP. All right, best software ever. It's a machine that gives you money. It suffices me for my risk analysis, money. Windows XP, bad. And this is a bank. I don't know what bank, in France, I think. And I was really, it was after a feast, I think it was, and we drank good wine. And I stumbled upon that, right? And I showed it in other conferences, and I said, like, look, Diebold, haha, it's bad. Only, if you can see, it's not touchable screen, right? So you can say, Zach, you dirty liar. You only did it on a non-touchable screen. This would happen never on a real, like, touchable screen, right? And you cannot provoke it. Stop lying to us. And I'm there like, yeah, wherever it's written. So it's untrue. You can provoke it. So you just try to get the OS context. When the video reload, I get the OS context. I can launch start poking around. This is Diebold. So I have configuration utility. What could you do with configuration utility? Funny stuff. You can access the documentation, find some weird things on it, or spawn a calculator and write leet on it, and dream of better skills. So, voila. So that was all for the pawns or the hacks. Now I'm gonna show you some of the defenses I met during these years of having fun. So this is the first one. When you hack too much a kiosk, they put a big paper on it, and actually it's a symbol. In many cases I met this in train kiosks in Paris. They put a metallic stuff on the kiosk that is not working or dysfunctioning or vulnerable or something. So they just block it completely physically until they fix it, because usually they're using TeamViewer or VNC to access it. So you can see that this with your bare hand you can with your bare hand you can remove it, or the others with the metallic one with the good tools you can open it and then access and see the guy who's connected by VNC, disconnect him and do your magic. The other kind of control that works is those. It's I was in the train station 3 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, and here you can see the start of the keyboard, so I can try to get him. But actually the click happens here, so I can never get it. And I didn't find yet a way to bypass it, maybe using my an audio jack, I'm gonna say, but this really works. This is a physical control that restrains the windows, so you cannot spawn the keyboard. And in Brussels, Brussels is a place I like, and I found a couple of vulns like these, and it was the first place where I experienced these kiosks that asks me for administration. There is a notion of authentication, so I think you can map it in your mind with the guidance and with the risks in top 10. So now we're talking about what lacked earlier, the authentication. And the other thing is disponibility. One of the techniques I talked about is crashing the system. For example, I'm going to show you another video. It's really, really fast, and it's in Russia too. Okay, so basically you just click a couple of times and it goes really quick, because there were 4 military Russian people behind me. I didn't want to miss out. So basically you just hit it 10 times, it crashed for once. You hit it enough, something happened. Here, when you start spawning windows from the Windows browsers, or just hitting whatever, it detects and it blocks you. It's like a blocker that during 30 seconds, then during a minute, and increments, etc., etc. So let's summarize. It was easy. Seriously, it's a joke when I talk about skills and stuff, because I try to show that it is easy, but it's really easy. Like we can redo it again and again. Internet access is often available and often on the critical devices. Who cares about Aliza? Nobody. Who cares about ATM? I think more. Many devices like to update, segmentation, an antivirus, authorization levels, Top 10, anyone? People supposed to supervise are clueless. The MasterCard thing, there was a visual, and who came, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Sir, I asked you if I can play. You said yes." I was like, "No, don't do that." And that's all. I can do that on McDonald's, I found a couple of vulnerabilities on McDonald's. I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat. I did it only to do POC for someone. And I ordered like for 300 euros of food, and the guys didn't say nothing, and for free, of course. And then I spawned the shell, and nobody knows anything. So we lack education of people who are monitoring. We lack monitoring solution. When you read the engineering papers, they all say that they're monitoring, that they have alarms, that they have SOCs, they have blue teams, etc., cyber blue teams of things, etc., etc. In China, of course, and APT proof. Again, I can buzzword for long, right? but they don't know how to monitor a simple application, a simple switch of context in the application. And of course, devices are critical, at least often interesting. Environmental at risk are, you see that those computers that allows you to serve, SCADA systems, money devices, money-related devices, definitely. You can get free tickets. It's not, don't do it. It's bad, it's evil. Critical devices such as lift, smart grid. When I was in Russia, there was a gas station with a touchable screen, and gas station, critical, right? So again, what about medical devices? I was in Disneyland, the park last time, and we were in this epic roller coaster, and just when it blocked, when you cannot go out, it's dead. I saw a Windows XP computer rebooting. Imagine my fear. I was like, forgive me, God or Buddha, whatever, Muhammad, forgive me for I have sinned, I saw death. He was cool though. He told me jokes. So it's same thing. Medical stuff, dental stuff. They're running on Windows. They're same things. Our friends who hacked sniper rifles, they make it aim, they make it miss. The Jeep hacks, I think you all learned about it. And I'm not saying that they're hackable because they're touchable, they have touchable screen, or because they don't validate and control the input or the nature of input. It's just the lack of conscience, of security conscience. That is the same, I can say the Lannisters will fix it, They'll save the realm. You can count on it. I think, yeah, you know nothing, Jon Snow. And again, another thing, once you've accepted your flaws, no one can use them against you. Yeah, Lannisters are not helping you guys. They're not helping me. We have to take the black. We have to be our night watch. Okay, we have to talk to each other. I put it at the end. And again, Martin, I'm stealing this from you. We have to talk to each other. Developers talk to sysadmins. It's so awful how developers and sysadmins don't interact. I'm not even talking about us, pen testers and auditors. We just come with our black glasses, black suits, and black computers, and we hack everything and we go. We need to talk. We need to collaborate. We need to make the thing working. And again, in Westeros, this is what's missing. Lannisters, they don't want to trust on the wall. It's mythical. The wall doesn't exist. There's no hackers. On the wall, they don't want to know about the troubles that you have in the realm. But we need a synergy. We need to help each other communicate, include security early in the projects. In my past life in industrial environment, they called us security teams when they had no excuse to retard the project. So we are it's because of the security team. They said we cannot release on date. And of course, in 2 days, you need to pen test, reverse, scan, and analyze 30, 100,000 lines of code in Java, of course. God prevent. And be sure that a cyber person from the Internet of Marketing will ask you to put it on internet. I don't know why. Why do we need the thing in Germany, the forge in Germany, to be on internet? Why do we need KPIs to appear and to be directly connected to some nuclear center or some ticket selling machine? No, we don't want that. We want closing, but it will happen. So we need to harden our application and our systems, as if the worst will happen, because the worst is already here. Harden your apps, of course, and use, OWASP Zap is love. OWASP Zap, at OWASP Zap, we love developers. Many people at OWASP Zap, starting by Simon, who created Zap to learn more about security when he was only a dev. He's a developer, and he used Zap, and more developers use Zap. We try to make it easy, integrable with tools we use in developer environment, such as Jenkins or other. And on OWASP, there are so much other tools and guidance and papers for every stage, for the builders, the breakers, the defenders, and we need, I think, for curiosity, it's good to see everything, try to use it, and when you don't know, ask someone to help you and to learn it, and we will do it. You know, on Zap, we have a mailing list, we answer to everyone, even to evil people who then use our features to integrate them in their proprietary tool. I think you you see what I'm talking about. And voila, I'm done. I don't know if you have questions. I'm offering vodka for every question.
So the question is, have you disclosed these vulnerabilities to the owners of these systems?
Maybe. Some of them I tried to, but I was, they never answered. Some throw me into an unlimited loop, so no. But other, yes, I disclosed. Some of the critical I disclosed, but the bank stuff I did not. This is why I didn't show everything about the banks, but we can do private showing after. But I'm gonna try to reach the good persons for the ones who I didn't disclose.
Did you try with Krakow ticket machines?
Not yet. I didn't get time.
Do you want?
Yes, I will do later, this evening or tomorrow. And I heard there is an exhibition underground, right? And I want to go there to see if there are. And I saw a couple of ATMs too. Maybe we can try and look if they're vulnerable. And you'll help me report to the Polish offices. I can't go to Russia now. I want to come to Poland, please. Help me. Okay, so that's all. This is a lift. This is a construction site, and this is McDonald's. Don't go to McDonald's. You know, it's evil. Just hack them. So that was all. You can contact me on Twitter, and this is my mail, and I'm done. Thank you very much.